farm here. The breeder farm was purchased by McFarland's in 1988 from Owen Clemens, who had owned the farm for years. Right where you're looking at the three units of pens right there was a gravel pit. That's what Mr. Clemens had there in that location. So the first thing we did when we purchased the farm was to level out the gravel pit and begin to construct pens. The pen to the left is the first pen we built in 1989, and that pen was where we put our Manchurian pheasants that we imported from China. The pen right next to it, the one in the middle, pen B, was constructed in the mid-90s, and the top pen, which is pen C, was constructed around 2000. The pens are each about 5 acres apiece, 5 to 6 acres apiece, and they're made up of smaller pens that are primarily 80 by 150 or 80 by 200 feet. As you look at the picture up in the upper left corner, you can see a long, slender building. That's our hen barn. That's where we breed our white pheasants. And then up at the top of the screen, you see the two barns that were built in 2005. There's another view of those two barns. Both the two barns we're zooming in on right there are 50 by 300 feet. And we use these barns to breed pheasants through the winter. And then once those birds are moved out, we use the barns to raise chicks. You can see some of our employees waving at us there. Down at the bottom of the screen, the smaller building next to the hen barn is our egg wash building. For years, we took our eggs from the breeder farm to the hatchery, and the eggs were then washed at the hatchery. But once we built the egg wash building, we then began to wash the eggs right on the breeder farm, and the eggs were then warehoused in the egg wash building and then taken to the hatchery whenever needed, but they were washed already, and that's part of our increased biosecurity of our farm. Looking at the pens a little bit more, as you can see, they're quite expansive, but the point is that they're very well drained. Because they're over what was a gravel pit, the pens drain well. We don't have any issues with wet soil, and this farm is dedicated to breeding. So the only thing we do on this farm is breeding birds.